What do you think an apartheid is?
An apartheid seeks to elevate one racial group or religious group over all other groups within the society.
I don't think so. So
I think that's exactly what
apartheid does not seek to elevate one group over another. So we only had one instance of apartheid ever in history. That was South Africa. South Africa invented the word apartheid. The white people in South Africa.
Yeah.
So what apartheid was in South Africa is every single black person was stripped of their citizenship and moved to a Bantustan, which consisted of about 20% of the country, while whites took 80% of the country. Black people weren't allowed to vote in elections. They weren't allowed to serve in government. They weren't allowed to buy property. They weren't allowed to move about the country freely. They weren't allowed to leave their Bantustans. They weren't allowed to go in white areas. They were completely and utterly segregated, and all of the land in the country was absconded on by the white people. So to say that, saying that Jews should have a majority in Israel is basically apartheid. Just saying that, not even doing it, is actually insane. But Netanyahu never said that. So what I would say is 21% of Israel's population are Arabs. Those people are allowed to serve in government. They're allowed to vote in elections. They are full rights-bearing citizens. They're allowed to move about the country freely as they please. They can buy or build houses whenever they want. They can purchase land. They can own farms. They can open businesses. They can do whatever they want within Israel. There are roughly a dozen members of Israel's parliament, their Knesset, that are Arabs. There is an Arab-Israeli Supreme Court justice. His name is Khalid Kabab. Also, another Israeli Arab Supreme Court justice, George Kara, sentenced a Jewish Israeli president to prison. His name was Moshe Katsav. He went to prison for sexual assault. That would never happen in apartheid South Africa. And the Supreme Court in Israel holds a lot of power. So to have an Arab Sunni Muslim sitting on the Supreme Court is insane. It would never happen in apartheid South Africa, ever. Okay. In addition to that, Jews aren't even allowed to pray on the Temple Mount, which is their most religious site in the entire world. It's the third most religious site for Muslims. They're allowed to pray on the Temple Mount. Jews and Christians are not allowed to pray on the Temple Mount. Jews are mandatorily conscripted into Israel's military. Arabs are not mandatorily conscripted. They don't have to join the IDF. They can choose to join the IDF if they want to, but they don't have to. There are also affirmative action programs for Arabs in Israel because they are, on average, poorer than Jews. So they're given extra opportunities, similar to what we do with black people in America and other racial minorities. We give them increased admissions to schools, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, he left. He left. Goodbye.